thought was amazing. And Sir Bob's speech as well.
This is the most tense video of One Direction ever seen on camera.
Hi Liam.
Most of them look sad and angry, and the two are obviously just trying to keep it together.
We are so lucky to be in this position.
This is the exact interview where you could see things start to crack internally. This is when One Direction went downhill. Nightfall, whatever you know about One Direction, trust me, you will want to keep watching. Because this is the unknown dark side of One Direction.
Rumours flying that Zayn, you are leaving the band. Is that true?
You don't want to be in a boy band that's cheesy.
I never really wanted to be there.
Most people know that One Direction was created on the British X Factor. They were young and inexperienced on their own, until Nicole Scherzinger of Pussycat Dolls. Yes, actually it wasn't Simon Cowell who had the brilliant idea of putting this band together.
I think they'll be really great in a boy band together.
In the end, One Direction took over the entire world. Except, what the world didn't know was that behind this shiny boy band image that made millions of girls fall in love, there was already tension brewing deep inside.
Part of the reason One Direction was made was because of Simon's promise to me that in 2 years I'll make this work for you.
Wow.
So he kind of started with my face.
These boys had different ideas of who mattered more in the group, or who wanted to stay.
I think I kind of always wanted to go, from the first year, really.
And no, unlike what you see in the music videos, they didn't just start out as solid friends right away.
In the band we hated each other. Like, to come to blows, hate each other.
Often we fail to realize that when you're in a boy band or a girl band, every single step you do is controlled. Even their individual images had to be carefully manufactured, from their personalities, regardless if it's true, down to the hairstyles they can have or the clothes they can wear.
Any questions? No questions!
Zayn was told to be silent, mysterious one, who always looked like the bad boy. Harry was portrayed as the flirt, the guy with curly hair and unique fashion sense.
I like girls.
Liam was expected to be the responsible one, the guy who held everything together.
Who is the sensible one then? Who's the Gary Barlow here?
Louis was the loud, funny one, who sometimes was portrayed as the rebel, and Niall was seen as the token Irish guy, who sadly had the least solo exposure in the band. At one point he was even suspected by fans to be sabotaged by 1D's own management, after which fans started posting, "Let Niall sing." I mean, just look at this. Imagine being so young like them, not even knowing yet who you really are or what you like.
It happened so quick.
We just can't believe it ourselves.
And yet, they got no choice but to handle all this massive fame while the world already gave them labels.
You're the womanizer, right? You're the guy who likes the ladies?
Let me just remind you how creepy this stuff is. They were just teenagers there.
I couldn't, give my opinion on this or that because it didn't fit the grain of what we were as a band.
Zayn also revealed, if I would sing slightly R&B or slightly myself, it would always be recorded 50 times until there was a straight version that was pop, so they could use that version.
You're working with producers who've done it for years, you're like, there's no way you'd have the confidence to be like, well, I think we should do it like this.
But even if they didn't have full control of their own career, 1D kept going strong, hoping things would get better.
The longer that we're staying in a band, the more control that we feel like we're getting over everything.
World tour after world tour, album after album. They were working day and night.
You'd think that you'd be exhausted after a show, especially a huge stadium, but then you go and sit down and start writing more music?
Yeah.
5 young, overworked boys kept on showing their smiles while being subjected to such an abnormal way of life.
There is also a feeling amongst some of these girls that you've literally saved their lives.
Crazy, humbling comment to think that you could change somebody's life.
This job is f***ing challenging at times, mentally.
And yet, the management kept pushing them. Even when Niall suffered a knee injury, even when Liam was hiding his dark addictions.
I call it pills and booze face. And you would never have seen it. I'm very good at hiding it.
Even when Zayn was secretly dealing with anxiety and eating disorder.
Being on stage in front of thousands of people, I think it's a really normal place to experience anxiety.
And this is why, even though they owe some of the success to Simon Cowell, you will see hints of them showing bitterness for him.
Not anymore, Simon. Do you like Simon Cowell?
Sometimes.
Even Zayn, after leaving One Direction, dissed him in a track.
Glad we left the cycles, I'm just focused on the cyclone.
Quite definitely, there are many more terrible things that happened behind the scenes. Let me just read to you what Jedward, another duo under the management of Simon Cowell, tweeted. There's a reason Psycho is called Psycho. 1D is legally effed in contracts and can never speak out, so we are. There's nothing modest about their previous management dictating their every move from relationships to how they live their own lives. Justice for 1D. This might be just their unverified opinion, considering that they never succeeded under Psycho. But let me just tell you that this video is not only about the dark side of One Direction, because even though One Direction was the best thing that ever happened in the lives of Zayn, Harry, Liam, Louis and Niall, leaving it was also the best decision they could ever make. Finally, they've gotten the chance to know who they truly are.
It's a nice feeling to come out of a place where you are being told what to do.
Finally, they can explore the music they really want to create.
You know it's not the same as it was.
Finally, they can truly shine on their own.
Like sweat dripping down that dirty laundry. No, no, I used to be in 1D, now I'm free. I just keep on coming back to you.
And so, if there's one thing you can take away from the story of One Direction, it is that nothing beats the feeling of finally being heard and going in the one true direction your heart was always meant to follow.